What up, world? It's Pimo, aka Jadiz, just checking in on y'all one good time. So, for the love of my fan base, or the people who watch my videos, man, I decided to go ahead and do this video midday. But anyways, somebody on my last video made a comment and said, instead of talking about black women, yeah, she took it, she felt some kind of way about that, but instead of talking about black women, why don't you make a video telling black men how to approach black women? The black men who have been approaching me are just, very disrespectful and not doing it the right way. The white men who approach me are a little bit more cordial, I guess, a little bit more nicer. They smile, they say hello, blah, 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 blah. And in reply to her comment, I told her, I said, that's going to be my next video. I got you. So, hopefully y'all get a 2-for-1. I'm going to try to upload this by the end of the day. That's my goal. But anyways, so, black men, my brothers. Yeah. How do you approach a black woman? Good question. Now, to start this out, let me say this. Approaching any woman, right? But for a black man approaching a black woman, it's kind of an interesting thing. There's like an interesting dynamic there because like I'll use myself for example. So like, I was raised in the streets, right? But I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like I was raised in the church and in the streets, if that makes sense. And so like, it's just like, as you approach a woman, you might be thinking like, what side of myself do I want to show her? Like, do I want to give her more of like the rough side of me, or do I want to approach her a little bit more cordial, a little bit more, professional, right? Do I want to, is it going to be like my yeah, I'll listen to a little bit of Nirvana. Linkin Park, rest in peace, Chester. But damn. But anyways, like, what side of myself do I want to approach this woman with, right? And then also too, with all the stereotypes that's out there in the world about black men, like, you trying to think, how do I approach her in a way that interests her? Like, do she want me to come off like a thug? Will she like me less if I'm more of the clean-cut professional? Like, you want her to like you, right? And you don't really know how to approach her because, you don't know what she gonna like. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that. So here it is, guys. Try to. So I break all women down into 2 categories. 9 out of 10 times, the woman who you thinking of approaching gonna fall into one of 2 categories, all right? She gonna either be the shy, reserved type of woman who is like, kind of like, it's like she got a shield around her, bro. And like, she's reserved, you feel me? She calm. She not like out there, you know what I mean? She's cool. Like, she's reserved, right? I'm just gonna call them reserved. Here's a little box, reserved. Type 1. Type 2 are the type of women that you're gonna approach are a little bit more outgoing. And they're a little bit more outspoken. And they're a little bit more like flamboyant and more like, you know what I'm saying? They more out there with it. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not saying those 2 categories, that woman have to be exclusive to one of those categories. They could be, both of them at the same time. But what I'm saying is that when you see her, she gonna fall into one of those 2 categories when you see her at that moment in time. All right, reserved or more open, flamboyant. And you're gonna know the flamboyant ones because when you see them, they're gonna be like talking, they're gonna be smiling, they're gonna be activated. You know what I'm saying? They out here doing something, like they're involved, right? Even though they might be in line somewhere, like they're activated. You could tell like something is going on. And so I break them down into those 2 categories. So brother, I'm gonna give y'all my 2 cents in terms of how to approach these 2 types of women. So the reserved woman, I'm gonna try to make this video like no longer than 15 minutes. God knows I got things to do too. But anyways, the reserved type, right? The reserved type of women. These type of women, you have to start from the ground up with. You cannot assume anything with them, or they're gonna immediately put that wall up on you, give you that. You're gonna catch one of those because they're reserved. So you have to, like, I'm not saying introduce yourself like, hi, my name is. No, but what I'm saying is, like, you have to go a little bit more basic with it. Like, you have to smile. You need to say hello. I'm not saying shake her hand, but like, because I wouldn't do that when I first meet a person. But what I'm saying is, like, you want to lay a foundation for a relationship. You cannot assume that she gonna give you anything. You could ask her, like, oh, you know, what's your favorite drink or whatever, and like, she might just look at you like, you know what I'm saying, like, who the hell are you? Like, no, you know, shut down immediately. But if you approach them and say something like, hi, like, you know, and you start from there with like a hello and a smile and something simple like that, then you're gonna be able to kind of get in there. It's like a full course meal. You know what I'm saying? You start with an appetizer. You know what I'm saying? You might have a little drink, a little lemonade, water, or something. You feel me? And then you're gonna get to, you know, maybe a little bit more of an appetizer, a bigger appetizer. Then you're gonna get to your actual meal. And then if you're on the right track, you just might get some. Don't take that the wrong way. But anyways, what I'm saying is, you got to start somewhere. Because a lot of times, these types of women, you don't know their situation. Like, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're in a bad relationship. Maybe they're just getting out of a bad relationship. Maybe they've been victimized some type of way throughout their life. Or maybe they're just usually that's their normal personality. They're just reserved people. You know what I mean? In general, like, you don't know. So what I'm saying is, because you don't know nothing about them, and you see that they're reserved, you got to respect them. And the way that you show her respect and that you're an okay person to talk to is by simply saying hello. Like, let her see you. You feel me? And what I mean by let her see you, I ain't talking about just physically, bro. Because usually reserved women, they're smart. You feel me? So they're going to size you up. Like, because look, I'm going to tell you like this. This thing I like about reserved women, I mean, just women in general, like, it's just interesting people. Like, people have a way of perceiving who you are as a person before a word even come out your mouth. Just by the appearance of a person. Not like how they look, but when you look into their face, you feel me? What do you see? Because it's a spiritual interaction going on. You feel me? So you gotta have a good spirit inside you. You gotta be on your game. You gotta just approach them with a more basic hello. And then you can build from there, you know, something simple like, you know, I've never seen you here before, blah, blah, blah. Like, spark up a conversation, but don't assume anything. Like, spit it out, put it on her. You know what I mean? Say what you got to say. Let her respond and see how that goes. You feel me? It should be like ping pong or like tennis. Y'all going back and forth. If you approaching her and you talking to her and it's like she's shutting you down, you starting from the A level, but she's shutting everything down, chances are she got a man or she just really not interested in you. You feel me? And like, in that instance, you just gotta like move on and let it be what it is, you know? And just recognize that if you go to talk to a girl and you don't get the outcome that you wanted, just know that works in your favor because you one step closer to the woman that will give you the outcome that you want. You feel me? So you can't be afraid of that rejection, you know, even though we all are afraid of it, you know, men, women, everybody. So that's category number 1, the reserve. The more outgoing, flamboyant women, right? See, me, what I like to do with them, like, I'm direct in general, but like with women of like that are like that, you gotta like, man, okay. You don't have to start at like the high level, right? You could go a little bit more. Like, you could be a little bit more like direct with them, like, and to be honest with you, like, you can be a little bit more fun. You can be a little bit more creative. Like, you can get like on like some next level type stuff. Like, you can act, not like next level, like, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, you can ask them, like, you can start the conversation with, like, if she's getting a drink, like wow, like, you know, I don't know what you would say. You could talk about what's going on in the environment that you're in immediately, and make it fun, make it something that she's gonna like. Like if she getting a pink drink or whatever, or a red drink, it could be something like you got to tie it in. I don't know what to say. It's gonna be situational. You got to know what to do situationally. But what I'm saying is, you could get a little bit more direct and a little bit more fun with them. Now, listen. That will work if she's attracted to you. If she's not attracted to you, it's gonna be a disaster, my friend. So it's like a risk, but I think no risk, no reward. That's how I think about it. So if you're gonna approach her and you in your mind already know you're gonna approach her, you might as well go big. You know what I'm saying? Like go in, like make yourself unforgettable to her. Like be unique. You don't want to come off like hella like, you know, like typical. You want to do something that's not typical, especially with those types of women. Because if you do something that's not typical, something that she couldn't expect or see coming, like, bro, she'll never forget you, not just today, but she won't forget you the rest of her life because of the way that you approached her. And like I said, it's situational. I can't really tell you what to do, but you just got to know how to be fun and be like interactive and like get involved in what she's doing. Women like that, depending on where you are, you might even like, and this is like, oh, I know this is kind of out there, you know, but I'm like direct sometimes, you know, but like, you could like let's say for example, if you at a water park or something, you know, I live in California, there's hella water parks out here. Not that that's my scene, you know what I mean, but when I was a bit younger, you know. But if you at a water park, you know what I'm saying, and she seemed kind of direct, you could like splash that girl a little bit, you know what I mean? Like do something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get in there. Let her know that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, get in there. The worst thing that's going to happen is she's going to say no. But at least put yourself out there to the point where she know that, like, okay, she at a certain level. Because, look, women who are like that, they at a certain level of confidence. And I'm going to tell you right now, a confident woman, she don't want to play or deal with a man who is not confident. And so you got to, like, let her feel. Like, you got to be confident in how you approach her. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like a lot of times, like the most beautiful women, like the most, like, you know what I mean, the ones that you want, like they are attracted to more confident men. You know what I mean? So you gotta be confident because they're confident women. You feel me? Like they got goals in life. They got somewhere they trying to go. And if you wasting their time, if they not gonna play with no busters, man, they don't have time for that type of stuff. So if you approach them on a more confident level, she gonna respect that from the jump, and you're gonna have more success in talking to her. Now, of course, I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. It's gonna be like the whole point of the whole situation, regardless if it's woman A who's type A or type B. The whole point of the conversation is to kind of get a feel for her, like get a feel for the chemistry. You know what I mean? Typically, I don't even give a woman my name until I've built a little bit of a rapport with her. Until I'm confident that, like, okay, we got some chemistry here. You know, okay, and by the way, my name is, you know, woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever, however you throw it in there. That's when I give my name. Because, see, look, it's like what God did with Moses. You know what I mean? Like in Abraham and all them. See, he said he hadn't revealed his name. You see what I'm saying? So don't feel obligated to give a woman your name immediately. You know what I'm saying? She gonna get your name if she deserves your name. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like, in other words, if you feel like it's appropriate to give her your name, because you're not obligated. She don't need to know your name. Like she see your face, she gonna remember you, but she don't know your name. You know, y'all didn't have chemistry, so she don't know your name. You actually benefited from that. Like you walk away from that situation with your head up, because it's like, okay, it's like I gave her a shot, you know, and I kind of let her see me a little bit, but I didn't let her too far in. You know, and then, okay, she's not interested. Okay, boom. I kept my pride, my self-respect. Boom, I'm out of that situation. You feel me? So it's not like you have to, like, it's like, yeah, you putting yourself out there, but you're not putting yourself all the way out there. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, but yeah, the end result of all of that conversation is what? Okay, let's assume everything is good. The chemistry is right. You're like, okay, like, I like this. You could tell immediately by how she's smiling at you and how you smiling at her. You're going to know. It's going to be signs there that's going to tell you that, like, yeah, okay, I got to get this girl number. Like, I need to get to know you. And, like, and honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, I will tell a woman that, like, if everything goes well, I will tell her straight out, like, you know, like, wow, like, so I'm glad I kind of ran into you or whatever. Whatever I would say. I don't know exactly how to do it, but I would say something like that. And then, you know, you seem like the type of person I like to get to know. You know, what's your number? Like, I'll call you later. Like, something simple, you know. But obviously, you got to get the numbers. See, like, I don't know, it's a new generation. People getting Instagram, Facebook accounts and all that, Snapchat. I don't do none of that. I don't want none of that. No, you on IG? I don't, what? I don't, I'm old school. I need the number. Give me the numbers, 7 digits. When you get the digits, like, I don't know. It depends on you what the situation is. But 9 out of 10 times, like, I get the digits. Look, I'm on the schedule. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the digits. I'm out of there. I'm going to call her either later on that evening or I'll call her the next day. It just depends on you. But I like to go with the next day approach because, like, it depends on your schedule. You know what I mean? Depends on your schedule. You don't want to appear to be a desperate David. You know what I'm saying? You leave her and then you call her in 10 minutes. You know, don't do that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Simmer it on down a little, razzle. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be alright. So this is what I'm gonna say. Now this is the final thing I'm gonna say about this video, then I'm out of here. Look, see, look, because I know, like, man, like, I know how I was back in the day, and like, I know how a lot of black men be, and like, you know, it's like just the same way. Like, look, when a black woman is interested in you, bro, a lot of times they're gonna be aggressive. You're gonna know. You know what I'm saying? And for a woman to be aggressive, it's acceptable. But a lot of times, like, when you a black male and you see a girl, like, you gotta know how to. It's like being a boxer. You gotta attack her with controlled aggression. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Not the first time at least, you know what I mean? Because it's going to be kind of awkward, you know, if you come off like that. But you gotta know how to control yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the thing a lot of these women talk about. Because look, I'm going to tell you like this. A lot of professional black women, see, they work hard to portray themselves or to present themselves in this world as professionals. You feel me? They serious about their business, bro. They want it just as much as you want it. Like, they want that love and affection the same way you do, the same way men do. But they're a little bit more precise and calculated, and they understand when to turn it on and when to turn it off. See, as men, y'all got to think like that. Like, okay, I'm going to approach this woman and she going to know that, like, yes, I'm interested in you, but at the same time, it's not going to be like to the point where I'm embarrassing her. You feel me? With how I approach her. So all of the slang and verbatism and all of that stuff, you know, you want to keep that to a minimum. Now, some of us, we from the streets, we can't help it. It's going to come out. Like, and it's cool if it come out like that's you. You feel me? Be proud of who you are, you know. But also show her that you're a well-rounded person. Don't give too much. That's like my philosophy when it comes to approaching women. It's like, you know, sprinkle it a little bit. Sprinkle a little something out there and see what you get back. You know what I mean? And don't be like, I'm not saying, you know, you might have to sprinkle heavy. You might have to come confident. It just depends on the situation. Again, is she reserved or is she more flamboyant and out there? You know, and that's going to tell you how you're going to have to approach her. So, yeah, man. I hope this video does y'all some good. I hope somebody out there got something out of this. And listen, man, when y'all approach women, above all else, man, be confident, keep your self-respect, and of course, keep the end goal in mind, which is, look, get this woman to trust me enough to give me them digits. Oh boy. And maybe you could arrange something for that weekend. You understand me? So anyways, man, until we chat again, this is P-Mo, aka Jadir. You know, my followers, y'all can't say I don't love y'all, you know what I mean? I really like to talk about these topics because, hey, there's no love like black love. I told y'all that a long time ago. But anyways, I'm out of here, back to work, man. Y'all have a blessed one. I'm gone.